why are girls so flaky in Medellin?
I don't know. we are just like that. Just enjoy it.
I've traveled to over 77 countries total, 42 of which we've done live boot camps or one-on-ones or some sort of live training. Colombia has by far the flakiest women I've ever seen. Besides that you have an adorable dog.
I'm
what
a
brought
lawyer.
you back? You're a lawyer?
Yes.
Ah, so you're muy inteligente. Listen, I have to go that way, but do you have WhatsApp?
Yes,
So what can you do about flakes? Well, first of all, if you're getting a lot of flakes and you're not living in Colombia, then your approach might not be solid enough, which means maybe you're being direct, you're giving her a compliment, which gives her value. You know, it's a nice thing to do. You know, you're giving her value, she wants to reciprocate and give you value, make you feel good, right? You made her feel good. But you might not be sparking any attraction. It might just seem like a friendly interaction. There's no sexual tension. So make your approaches more solid, and we have plenty of videos and products that teach you exactly how to do that, including boot camps. Now, another option, which I learned out here, if you're getting a lot of flakes or you're just in a culture or it's just for some reason a flaky culture, is schedule multiple dates on the same day or same evening. You could do it all at the same time, but there's a chance they might all show up, and you're gonna have to know how to handle that, which is fine if you didn't set it up as an actual date and you set it up more like just hanging out, like a group of people are hanging out. That can work fine, but if it's set up more like a date, then set it at different times. Now, the first one, if she shows up, I would wait a little bit, try to get the vibe from the girl, and if it seems, you know, seems like there's a connection within a couple minutes, then reschedule the other ones. Basically, you flake on them. I know it sounds bad, but I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. Check out my condo here in Colombia. It's pretty nice. I love the view. We should grab a drink sometime, or grab coffee or something. I had a feeling. He's a lucky guy, I'm sure.
Thank you.
Alright, well, anyways, have an awesome day.
Okay, nice to meet you.
Alright, take care. Alright. So I totally forgot to kiss her on the cheek, which is kind of crucial in Colombia, but I'm so used to, you know, approaching in Asia, which you definitely do not do that. So keep in mind, if you're in Latin America, definitely kiss on the cheek when you say goodbye. I'm on a college campus right now, and if your demographic is women in college around that age, you know, 18 to 22, maybe 24, then this by far is your best option, because they're everywhere. It's what I call a target-rich environment.
This is what I call a target-rich environment.
Even though I'm 35, you know, they hardly ever ask, like, do you go to school here or anything like that, you know? You can have a backpack on you, that can help. You could just say you're interested in some classes, or you're just here to meet a friend, or you're just here to walk around, enjoy the day. It doesn't really matter what you say. Hold on, that girl was really cute. Matt, wait. I have to go this way. I'm recording for YouTube. But anyways, hi, do you have WhatsApp?
Oh, yes.
I had a feeling. Okay, ciao. So basically what I did there was I cut out the qualification part. I didn't really know anything about her. You know, that wasn't like a super solid approach by any means, but the friends were starting to walk away, she was starting to walk away, and I figured, what the hell, why not go for the phone number? It can't hurt. More often than not, have a longer interaction, get to know her a little bit, have at least a 2 to 3 minute interaction, or you do qualification.
You have class?
No, I don't go here. I came here to meet some friends. I want to learn Spanish.
My English is
Not so good? Más o menos?
not so good.
We can practice, but I have to go this way. Do you have WhatsApp?
Yes, I have WhatsApp.
You have WhatsApp, okay. So I met up with some guys here on campus and I asked them about the whole flaky thing, and they said it's probably because the women here, for whatever reason, get more emotionally attached easily. Like, they're all in. And I've noticed that. Even on first dates, the girls would get super jealous if they saw me texting another girl, or they looked at pictures and saw pictures of me on my phone with other girls. They would get super jealous. I even had a girl one time on a first date, I kid you not, she was a little drunk, so this might have something to do with it, but she took my phone. I thought she was just looking at pictures, and she started texting another girl that I was dating and saying like, fuck you bitch, and things like that in Spanish. It was pretty bad. So they want to make sure that the guy is really serious. And so they'll flake on him to see if, you know, is he gonna keep trying? And, you know, that, to me, that makes some sense. So the point is, if a woman flakes on you, don't take it at face value, meaning that she doesn't like you. It could be that she's just testing out to see, are you really interested in her? And she might be testing out, how are you going to react? But one of the biggest mistakes I see guys make when a woman flakes is they blow it out of proportion. They make it this really big deal, and then the girl completely loses interest. Here's another one. Un momento. Esto es muy raro, pero te vi aquí. Creo que tu amigo es muy hermosa. Both. Tell me something interesting about you.
Thanks.
Bailar. You like to dance. I have to go, but do you have WhatsApp?
Yes.
Single WhatsApp? Okay. You're not crazy, are you? Guys sometimes ask if there's a special text that he can send her that will minimize or eliminate flakiness. Well, there are a few that I have in my guide, Turn Her On Through Text, that can definitely prevent her from flaking. I mean, of course it's not 100%, but it can help. My favorite is very simple. And it doesn't necessarily eliminate flakiness, but it will let me know if she's gonna flake, and it gives me some time to change my plans. So basically, all I do is, the day of the date, about 2 hours beforehand, I send her a text about the date. It's either giving her some specific information, like where to meet, or something like that, or telling her, hey, let's meet at my place, then we'll drive there. Or I tell her that I'm running a little bit behind. I say, hey, let's move it back to 8:15 if it was supposed to be at 8. That'll usually give her an opportunity to flake. Now, I know that sounds really stupid. Like, why would you want to give her an opportunity to flake? Because if she tells me, you know, an hour or two before the date, that gives me time to schedule another date, or at least change my plans, instead of, you know, getting ready and she flakes on the last minute. That sucks a lot worse, because then I'm already getting ready, I'm already out the door maybe. I've even had times where I've shown up and she's just a complete no-show and doesn't even text, basically just like disappeared off the face of the planet. So I just recommend send her some sort of text a few hours, you know, an hour, 2, 3 hours before the date. That will give you some indicator whether she is planning on showing up or not.
Excuse me, real quick. You speak English? Hi. This is really random, but I just saw you two when I was walking by, and I just thought you were absolutely adorable.
You what?
I just thought you two were absolutely stunning.
Thank you.
I had to at least say hi.
Hi,
Hi,
I'm Annie.
Matt.
Nice to meet
Nice to meet you. Matt.
Marian.
Marion? Nice to meet you. But where are you two from?
Canada, Montreal.
Canada. Oh no, that's trouble.
Quebec.
Canadians.
Yeah.
Well, listen, how do we keep in touch? You text, or you have
I have
either WhatsApp or Facebook?
Yep.
So she actually showed up on time, no flakes. Good job, good job. Wave and say hi to the people.
Hi.
Another great strategy to prevent or minimize flaking on dates is to not even go on dates. Instead of dates, you go on group hangouts where you invite a bunch of women and possibly guys too. You know, you could invite 2 or 3 buddies and like as many girls as you want, really, where we all go out to a bar, or we all go out to a club, or it's a house party, even something in the daytime like hiking or something like that, but just some sort of event or activity. And you got to make sure the girl knows that it's some sort of, you know, group event. You don't want her to show up thinking it's a one-on-one date and then there's 10 girls there. That's not good. So I would actually tell the girl to bring her friends, that she can invite some of her girlfriends to tag along. That way she knows kind of what's up. Then in that scenario, you're there. Imagine you have 10 girls and maybe it's just you, or maybe you have a buddy or 2. And you know all these girls like you. Maybe you met them during the daytime, a few on Tinder. It's just a nice mix. You don't want to like just pick one of them and hang out with her the whole night. You just flirt and hang out with all of them and just have fun with all of them. And when you do this, if a few of them flake and don't show up, who cares? Because some of them will show up, some of them won't, so what? And then basically at the end of the night, it could be like the last one standing is the one you hang out with and you spend the night with. Or you don't hook up with any of them, but then the second date or the second time you see the girl, then things are really gonna be on. I mean, she's gonna know that she saw that you have all this competition. She saw that you have a lot of women in your life. You're pre-selected, and the second date, or the second hangout, I should say, is gonna be really solid, and she's probably not gonna flake. We're on our last date. It's so sad. Wait, move your hand. Move your hand out of the way. Now, even though Colombians are flaky, don't let that discourage you from coming here, because the women are gorgeous. My favorite in all of Latin America, and probably my second favorite in the entire world. Russia or Eastern Europe being number 1. Because there's so many women, so many beautiful women, and most of the guys don't approach, especially during the daytime, that you can still get tons and tons of dates here. So this is a pretty interesting bar. It has a ball pit, and I'm pretty sure that I'm stuck. I might have to get those girls behind me to help me. Hey, can you help me out? I'm stuck. I can't get out. Another one that didn't flake. Pretty good this time. So here's the deal. You can't necessarily eliminate flakiness 100%. And if and when it does happen, you do get flaked on, remember, don't be emotionally affected by it. Don't text her something angry, like, what the heck? You know, have some respect or something like that. Same thing if a woman is late on a date. Instead, you know, you're an awesome guy, nothing's a big deal. You're not emotionally affected by little things like that. You have so many cool people and so many women in your life. You're a solid man who can control his emotions, and everything is just fine. Now, if she does flake on you a few times, I still wouldn't get angry at her, especially through text. That's just lame. But I would delete her number, or at least stop trying with her. There's plenty of women out there. Go meet more women. And if you don't know how to do that, then check out some of our other YouTube videos, and they show you exactly how to walk up to women during the daytime, spark attraction, and get a phone number. Check those out. And in the meantime, leave a comment if you have any other strategies to minimize flakiness, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace. So
I think it's because we have a charm. I mean, just come over to Colombia and you're ready.